What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to react to some statements that Chris Bosh made about LeBron James uh, playing for another super team, right? Now, in the past, LeBron James and Rich Paul, they said that, they wasn't on super teams and they didn't consider the teams that LeBron James played on to be super teams at all. When everybody else who talk about it, most of the people that talk about it, they disagree with LeBron James. They definitely believe that the Miami Heat were a super team. And some people feel like Cleveland was a super team. Which I don't know. I don't really see Cleveland, in my opinion, when he was with Kyrie and Kevin Love being a super team. I don't see that. But when he played with the Lakers, I thought that was a super team. All those guys that they had assembled there to to basically help LeBron James win a title, right? So now you have him in Philadelphia. This team that he has in Philadelphia, in my opinion, is definitely a super team. Joel Embiid, Jalen Brown, Maxey, LeBron James, Edgecombe. This team right here, even before LeBron James joined this team, when they got Jalen Brown, a lot of people put them ahead of the Knicks, and the Knicks just came off of winning the championship, right? Which I don't. I still think I still give the Knicks the edge, even with LeBron James. I think you know what I mean. And they're gonna be the champ until somebody knock them off. That's my opinion when it comes to championship teams. And I don't care who you put on, what five you put on a team. You still got to be able to develop chemistry and learn how to play together, right? So for that reason, I'm still giving the Knicks that edge. But Chris Bosh came out and he made some statements, like I said, that I want to react to, and then I want to listen to his comments. Then I'm gonna give my reaction. So here we go with Chris Bosh's statement.
LeBron James is headed to Philly, the instant title favorites. Man, I didn't see this one coming. I mean, I didn't think he was going to go to Philly, man. The weather and being cold, I was joking around that the old folks go to Miami and stuff like that. I guess not. The old guys still compete for championships. That's what it's about. This team is loaded. It was already pretty loaded. The team was already pretty loaded. Now, I think this takes the Sixers over the top, not only as the favorites to win the NBA championship for next year, but, maybe for the next couple years. It was a 2-year deal. I think you have the size, of course, with Embiid down low, Jalen Brown, phenomenal scorer, Edgecombe, phenomenal scorer, Tyrese Maxey, phenomenal scorer. And as fast as Maxey is, I think the way he can penetrate, break down defenses on his own, he will be able to make LeBron James a better basketball player, kicking him out for three. I mean, LeBron is going to have to be a role player this year. He's going to have to get that, get that three ball going.
Now, let me stop it right there, because I don't really see it the same way that Chris Bosh said, because I think a big part of it is going to be, can LeBron James and Joel Embiid stay healthy, right? Can they? Joel Embiid, I think, played like 30-something games last year. I think he played like 38 games last year, right? So now, without Joel Embiid, somebody in that paint to protect the rim, and then on top of that, Joel Embiid is not even like an exceptional shot blocker, right? But he is 7 feet tall. So I don't know. They're going to have to stay healthy. LeBron is going to have to play a lot of games this year, log a lot of minutes, and so is Joel Embiid, especially Joel Embiid.
He's going to have to play a different role, a different position, but I think this is another evolution in his career, playing everything, being everywhere. But the Sixers, hey, all the Sixers fans, I know some Sixers fans, dear friends of mine, all the closeted Sixers fans, blow the dust off those AI jerseys and get back out there. Let's get back out there. Blow the dust off those Julius Erving jerseys. Sorry, Knicks fans. it was good while you had it. I know that's going to be a hot ticket next year. But LeBron James.
Now, I agree. It's definitely going to be a hot ticket next year. And I think a lot of people, you have some Sixers fans who are really, they really stoked and really excited about LeBron James coming. Then you have other Sixer fans that are really like, they taking that wait and see approach. Like if he performs, that's cool, but if he don't perform, then those Sixer fans are really going to turn on him, and it's going to be a long season. So I'm just looking forward to seeing how they all play together, what the chemistry is going to be like with Joel Embiid and Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. How is the young guy Maxey, like how will his role, not Maxey, but not just Maxey role, how is it going to change? But BJ, like Edgecombe, like how is his role with the team going to change, right? So yeah, all of that stuff right there, I'm looking forward to seeing.
To the Philadelphia 76ers. I heard some people saying it's going to hurt his legacy. Dude, who cares? Just, if you can play, your legacy is the all-time leading scorer going wherever you want to go.
All right. So this is the thing, right, about LeBron James' legacy. And this is why I think LeBron James really, he don't care about his legacy for one reason. I think like the fan base, LeBron James has chosen a side, and it's not the side of like the fan base. He's chose the corporate side. And so as long as LeBron James has corporate backing, he don't care what the fans think, right? Now, that could backfire on LeBron James because if he was to do anything to piss off the corporate, his corporate partners and his corporate backing, then he wouldn't be able to go back to the fan base, because he has already burned that bridge. So maybe LeBron James, his intent is to never piss off the corporate, his corporate backing, because he's on that side of the fence now. So that's why LeBron James is not really worried about his legacy. The history books are going to reflect what the powers that be want them to reflect. So if the fan base don't, not really accepting of LeBron James, and it don't really matter because they're not really writing the history. Like the powers that be are writing the history. All this stuff that people put on the internet, put on Facebook and all these different platforms, this stuff will get scrubbed away. And then all you'll see on all these platforms, you'll see what ESPN wanted you to see, what the NBA wanted you to see. When in real time, people felt differently about the situation. So, and LeBron James knows that. LeBron James understands that. So he's not really worried about. He already know what. He have a pretty good idea what his legacy is going to be, as long as he don't piss off, or do anything to upset the apple cart. LeBron James know that, like who's really writing history.
He can do whatever he wants to do. It would be something. Now all the pressure's on Philly. A lot of people are going to start coming out. It's a very tough town, winning town, but they expect you to win. Tough town. The media is about to be crazy, especially with Jaylen and LeBron being there and keeping the super teams alive. That's what I think LeBron James's purpose is.
So LeBron James and Rich Paul been going around saying lately that he never played on a super team. But now you have Chris Bosh saying that they're keeping the super teams alive. And and that's what it is. LeBron James just keeping super teams alive. He can't win, in my opinion, without a super team. And so, but again, LeBron is on the side of the people who are actually writing history. Like they're writing the storylines, not small YouTube channels or independent YouTube channels. It's about what the powers that be want it to be, and so LeBron James know that, he understand that. He's saying what he think is the right thing as far as like not being on a super team, because he knows how they're going to portray this down in history. So he don't really need the fan base, or at least he feel like he don't need the fan base, or like this whole thing is just different. you had to back in the day appeal to a fan base, which I think people should now, in order to give yourself more leverage and to be, more secure. I think you should appeal to the fan base. You can always go back to the fan base. Even when the corporations are finished with you and done with you, you can still rely on that fan base and tap into that fan base. But LeBron James don't think that he'll ever need the fan base. So he like I said, he sided with the corporation. So that's my take on it. I just wanted to react to what Chris Bosh had to say about the super team. Everybody know that LeBron James, he liked to play with super teams. So, and so they don't believe him when he says that, he's not, his teams haven't been super teams. And so that's my take on it. Make sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, man, I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.